Welcome to the Narrate podcast, where we aim to tell God's story with our lives. We'll be continuing to post the Sunday message each week, but we want to dive a little deeper and offer some content to supplement your life with God, and that's where our Beyond Sunday series comes in. Join Adam and Narrate staff as they provide thoughtful discussions, ideas, and interviews that go beyond the message you'll hear on Sunday. Hi, Narrate. I'm sitting with Hannah, and we're recording a Decade at Narrate podcast because it's a big deal. And Hannah's been at Narrate for 10 years. On what day?
I think in my calendar it has September 18th. Thanks. I don't know if that's when I first got the offer letter or if that was my first day in the office.
Sure.
I'm actually not sure now.
And Adam said from the stage it was Duncan night, so that must have been your first event.
Yeah, so I was shadowed the woman who was doing my Sunday morning role a few Sundays before I officially started, just to see what it was like.
Sure.
And so that Sunday, the Duncan night Sunday, was my first ever experience of working, or I was volunteering on a Sunday morning.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember that Sunday because I showed up. It was early because there were 3 gatherings at the time. So it was 5 in the morning or something. Oh, and then you do 3. And I went back to our apartment and I was like, Scott, there's this baptism thing at a lake. I think we should go, but I don't want to because I'm so tired. And he was like, well, we're trying to meet people. We should probably go. And so we ended up going to Dunkin'. I think we missed half of the baptisms by the time we got out there. And, but I'm glad we did go because it's one of my favorite events.
It's mine too. It is a great event,
especially
as a first. Get to know the kind of people, the culture. It's a very Narrate event.
Mm-hmm.
So I have I was showing Hannah my paper for prepping this episode, and I just have so many questions, and I won't ask all of the questions, but there's just different categories of questions that I thought would be interesting to talk about, ones that kind of go into Narrate and what's changed, what stayed the same, kind of Hannah's story, what's changed in her over 10 years, some fun rapid fire questions. You can't go wrong with funniest memory type stories, and then some fun closing questions. So we'll see what we get to in this episode.
Great. But
let's start with go back 10 years, think about yourself. Your first day, who were you back then? Do you remember your first day? What your role was?
I remember, I had a lot of, interviews.
Really?
To, even get hired. I wonder if they were who is this girl from... I was, 25. We just moved to Helena from Bozeman. So I'm sure everyone was who is this person? And so I'd kind of had some experience with the staff and Adam and Teresa. But I do remember my first day when we met in the middle room in the offices, and we sat on those hard stools, and I was like, these are really uncomfortable.
Really high
Why
up.
do we sit on these?
Well, those have been here for 10 years. I didn't know that. Okay.
I just remember thinking why are we not in the room with the comfy chairs next door? And I don't know when we made that switch, but I'm this is kind of uncomfortable. What am I doing?
It's an intimidation tactic. They're interviewing you on hard stools.
Yeah. But I remember, so I got hired kind of under Kate Plummer, who was the worship pastor, long time ago now. And so I worked really closely with her my first year, because when I got hired, there wasn't anyone. The person who'd done my job had been gone for a bit, and so Kate kind of trained me and worked with me. We met multiple times a week sometimes. Wow. And she just really showed me the ropes of scattering and Sunday mornings and the team. Oh, this is one of my funniest memories. Starting when I started, Adam, I guess, was scheduling my hospitality team, and he'd redone a few of the roles, and I remember Deb McNay, I feel like I can say this because she's told me this a few times. She was like one of the first people I think I had met with, and she was like, Hannah, can you just change the usher description? Because Adam put in directions like North Usher and South Usher, and none of us know what that means. Can you just change it to like Usher 1 and 2? And I was like, yeah, that's so easy. I can
do that.
I don't know what direction's north, so let's change that.
That's hilarious. I love that.
The north side of the auditorium. I don't know what that is.
No, yeah. Unless I can see the sleeping giant, I don't know what direction anything is.
Yes, next Sunday we can change that.
So that was your first hospitality improvement task.
Yeah, we got rid of the directions in the job roles.
Wow, I love that. Okay. So you were kind of in hospitality from the beginning, though.
Yeah.
And then when did you transition into, like, lead hospitality pastor?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I got hired as, like, I don't know what my title was, like, hospitality and assistant scattering director, maybe, was my official title. And so, like, I think all the hospitality stuff was kind of just dumped on me, not dumped, but like placed on me. It's like, here, no one's been doing this for a few months. It's kind of a mess. Like, you can figure this out, which I love organizing stuff like that. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. And then Adam was like in charge of more of the scattering agenda and stuff for a while. Really like for the first year until I did a Christmas Eve and an Ales for Trails and a wood splitting and you know, and like Sarah was around too at the time and was super helpful in kind of figuring out like, oh yeah, remember to do this or yeah. But it really was like, I feel like my time, like those first maybe 3 years, I was just kind of showing up and doing my tasks and trying to meet with people and just kind of going, I don't know what I'm doing, but I keep showing up and doing my best. And then when Kate left, she kind of transitioned out. It was like summer, fall of 2019. Okay. And for me, that's when I really felt like God was just kind of nudging me to like lean in and just kind of take this role a little more seriously. Not that I hadn't taken it seriously or didn't think it was important. Like I loved it and thought it was important, but for me it was like a job. Yeah. You know? And so that's kind of, after she left, I really felt like God was like, this is like a calling. This is like
more vocation.
A lifestyle, a vocation that I'm calling you to just kind of lean in and pay attention and start to take, like not just take your to-do list and do your things and go home, but like really start to take ownership of like, this is what I've called you into. So like lean in a little bit. And I really enjoyed, I remember thinking, oh yeah, that's really neat, God. Like I do really like this. I never thought I would work in ministry, but those first kind of 3 years, I like really fell in love with the task side of things. And I think that at that time it switched to more of like pastoral for me. Fair. Especially when we got into like 2020 and COVID and you're just kind of trying to like be a, you know, calm like presence in chaos. Yeah. And all of us on the team at the time, I think, felt like, oh, what we do is really important and how we show up on Sundays really matters. And now it costs something to show up on Sunday mornings. And so what are, like, how are we going to help people in this time? So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. Transition from like, what am I doing in this job to like,
oh yeah,
pastoral work. That's pretty cool.
To like, oh, now I kind of like, I feel like God's putting things on my heart to like do, like, how can we do scattering better? How can like our volunteers be treated? Just kind of like, how do I grow and grow in this role?
Because at that point you were like, you had taken over as like the person who's in charge of that, and you were no longer just like the person I was doing the tasks.
No longer felt like I was 50 steps behind everything. What am I doing? I'm catching up. Like, oh no, I'm supposed to do this. What? Okay.
Fair.
I had a few years of like, okay,
Yeah,
I
just
kind
get
of
through all
know
the-
like
Yep.
what when I should start like reserving the park for ales, and like when I need to make those phone calls or Christmas Eve. You just like, I felt like I was ahead now. Like I could look ahead and see ahead rather than go, oh no, what are we doing?
Yeah,
like
have stuff
we're talking
sneak
about
up on you.
Christmas in July. Oh, we really do need to talk about this in July. Like Adam's not crazy.
Yeah, it is a learning curve. I'm still like 2 years in, and I'm like, wow. Like, yeah, some of those church schedules it's very different from a lot of other jobs for sure.
Yeah.
So when you think about Narrate like 10 years ago versus Narrate now,
Oh, man.
what are some of the things that are like really different and some of the things that are consistent and have stayed the same?
I think like if you look at Sunday mornings, they used to be like when I was in Bozeman, I went to Journey Church, and a few people said, oh, go to Narrate, it's super similar, and it kind of was on a smaller scale. Like you know, the sermon, the messages were very topical and you know, like sciencey and therapy and God and kind of how do we figure that out together, which I loved. And you know, communion was like you know, whenever it fits. And
it wasn't a regular.
No, it wasn't regular. It felt more like, let's just make Jesus like cool and normal. And I guess now it feels like we don't mean to like make Jesus cool. Like people show up because they want something different from culture, like different than culture. Felt like before, you know, it'd be like, oh, we can be a part and like part of culture and God can fit in there. And it's like now I feel like no, we should be distinct. That doesn't mean we don't engage. I think we should, but there is something like important happening here that's different from culture, that should feel different. And I think we've just taken that a bit more seriously the past few years.
Sure. Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
grown. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it does. And like I always think about like I'm a post-COVID person, you know, and like so my lens is different than somebody who's been there from the very beginning. But it is like kind of fun to think about like how things have grown and changed like in that timeline, especially for you guys that have been there like since the beginning or for 10 years. You know, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I think, and in terms of like, so much hasn't changed though, because I always felt like we try really hard to gather in a meaningful way. That might look a little different, but like that Sunday piece is really important. And then the getting into the community, I know there's things we like don't do anymore, but there are things we do now, but we still try to do that in a meaningful way too. So that hasn't changed. Like the value that we have for our community and serving the people in our community is still very much the same. It might look different, but that value is still a huge part. A huge part of who we are.
Yeah, that's fair. Were there any moments looking back that you were like you could feel it was a significant moment in the church's history, like while you were living through it, that maybe you didn't know was significant at the time, but like looking back, it was?
Oh, that's a really good question. Oh, man. I think, like, I know Adam talks about this a lot, so if you have to cut this out, you can cut it out. But I remember, like, February 2020, it felt like we had just, like, hit this, like, stride. Like, the sermon series was amazing. The video was amazing. Like, we had so many groups, like, around this like digital minimalism that were full, and like I was leading one, I think Adam was leading one, like, you know, Lexi was leading one, and it just felt like, oh my gosh, there's like hundreds of people here, like this is amazing. And I actually remember thinking in February, like, this is awesome, like it's full. Are we gonna have to go back to 3 gatherings? Like my usher team was just like cranking on like getting all these people to fit on a Sunday morning, and it was so much work, but so, so fun to like figure out like, oh man, there's like no seats. What are we going to do? And I just remember thinking, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. Like, what? This is great. Like, we made it. Like, we're crushing it.
Yeah.
Only to like, was it 3 weeks later, be like sitting in a room live streaming with like 3 people.
I just can't imagine that.
It was crushing.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like that first Sunday we streamed, I don't remember if it was like March 15th or something, 2020, and we streamed one gathering, and I went home, made coffee, and just like sat in my living room and cried because I was like, I can't do this. This sucks.
It's like vastly different from
so
what you've been
different.
doing. Yeah. Yeah.
It was wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that. Yeah, I've heard both of you guys talk about that season though. Just like the crazy difference between like looking back just this month before being and like having that memory of being like, yes, we've arrived. This is it.
Good.
Yeah. And then weeks later just
you're
being like
oh, I remember I would run slides for, I think Tommy would sing, I would run the slides, and I'm like crying, like trying to like get the slides right on the iPad in the dark auditorium by myself, and I'm just like, this is horrible.
Oh gosh.
I laugh now, but
at the time
it was not fun.
Funny.
Not funny. And then just trying to figure out how do you come back, when we could gather. Like, I look back and the staff team at that time though was really bonded because you just had to be so trusting that what you're saying to me is in my best interest, even if it feels a little tense or like we're all tense and stressed. So things were moving so fast, you're just trying to adapt, and felt like our team at the time was very like bonded in kind of a weird, horrible way.
Trauma bond.
We're sitting outside, meeting outside, so we're like 6 feet apart. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway.
Were there like regulations about like who could be in the office at one time and things like that? Or maybe not, because you all have separate offices.
Well, we all have like separate offices, so we would do our like staff meetings outside on the picnic tables in the walking mall.
Oh my gosh.
Or I remember one time sitting in 326 with our chairs so far apart, and we're like, this sucks. This sucks.
Never forget. Never go back, hopefully.
No.
Okay, so
let's move on from that.
Let's think about like just for you personally.
Yeah. Okay.
How has working here changed you? Like when you think about 25-year-old Hannah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And now.
Yeah.
How has it changed you?
It's a big question, isn't it?
It is.
I think, just a couple of things that come to mind. It's made me, I think just working on a team has made me a person that values like listening to other people's opinions and thoughts, and then just trying to kind of figure out, okay, how do we compromise, or what's like actually going to work if we all have these different thoughts or opinions, like how can we make something happen. So I've become, I think, a better listener and just maybe gentler. Like I think about when I was in my early 20s, I was just kind of opinionated and harsher maybe when someone would have a different thought or opinion than me. And so I think it's made me like a kinder, more empathetic listener. Yeah. I think the second thing that comes to mind is like I feel like I've just had to learn to rely on God so much more like in this work, and just trust that if he's in it, like it will work out, or it will work out.
I love that.
And, and if he's not, then it won't.
Yeah. But it's less about like personal like like cranking and grinding, and more about like
and I would love for things like I would love for life to be about if I work hard I will get this done.
Me
or like
too.
If I put in the effort like my effort directly correlates to the results. I would love for that to be true, and in some places of life that does work. And I feel like in ministry and in faith that's not often how God works. And I think I've gotten to sit with so many people and hear so many stories and realize like, oh, God really does work differently and through different people in different ways. And sometimes I can try as hard as I want and it's just not gonna work out. Not gonna work out.
Not meant to be. That is a really good thought, because one of my questions was, what is something you just absolutely did not know about ministry, like before you started versus now? And that kind of falls into that category.
It does,
like, trusting God, and like sometimes it's just not gonna
sometimes it just doesn't work. Yeah.
Can you think of any other ones though that jump out at you?
What was the original question?
Like, what is just something you did not know about ministry, like about working in ministry, like before you got this job?
I didn't know it was so fun. Not that I thought it was boring, but I was like, this is a really fun job. Like,
I love that. I love that answer.
It's fun. Like,
what's like the most fun, like in your schedule? Because we kind of all get to like, we have things that we all have to do, yes, but you kind of get to like build it the way you want. What's like some of the most fun pieces of your day?
I know, I don't want to sound like a Pollyanna, but I feel like really, truly blessed that I get to come to work and love, like, most of what I do. I get to, like, I love the part where I get to sit with people and hear their stories or hear, like, how God's showing up. I love, like, meeting. There's a couple of different groups I get to meet with and just hearing, like, how did the message, like, touch you this week? Like, how is God showing up? Like, how, like, what do we think of this book? Or all of these different things we get to talk about. The student part is great too, like getting to hang out with high schoolers. I also love like just reading and learning and being a part of a team. I love like planning events where people get to volunteer and they feel like their work matters. Like, I think that's really important, that people can give back and show up and volunteer and that they made a difference. And I think that's really important and oddly harder than it like sounds.
Sure.
Not that I'm saying it's like hard, but it's a lot of work to like be very organized and intentional.
Totally.
Find those like places where you can do that. I think the other thing too, like I love being a part of the background of Sunday morning and just getting to kind of make sure like the environment is good and the team is ready and we're just kind of setting up the space for the music and the message that people show up and they feel relaxed and welcomed and cared for and at ease and like they're, you know, like people want them there. And I love like just getting to set that environment for people. Being a part of the team that gets to do that. It's so fun.
Think of all the little details. And like, I love that. That's awesome.
Not that every part of ministry is fun, but like most of the planned stuff. Of course, there's some stuff that comes up that you're like, oh gosh, that's horrible, or
heavy,
or people die, or people, you know, you know, people go through hard things, and that's hard to listen to things. But you know, I feel honored that God's put me in a place where I can listen and try to help or ask good questions or just hear people's stories. I was talking to someone on a hike and I said, you know, I think people, like so many people, I think just don't have a space to talk where they feel listened. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of wonder if we could just all have a space where you can talk and someone's listening and just responding and looking in the eye and going, wow, like, and I think I can be that for people. Like, I'm not a therapist or counselor, but I can listen to you and care and
it's so important.
Just kind of ask some questions.
Yeah. I think it would be shocking if we knew how many people didn't have somebody that just is like, oh, interesting. Like, tell me more about that. You know, I don't think a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
And it is important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a really hard question. So if you don't want to answer it, that's okay. But I think it's also really interesting.
Oh, okay.
If you could show your 10 years ago self one moment, like of all the stuff that you've got to do, or like an event, or a, it could even just be a moment on a Sunday or a whatever, that kind of encapsulates like, this is why I do this. This is why I love this.
Oh, wow.
What would it be? It's really big. It's really big.
Oh my gosh, because there's so many things.
There's so many, yeah.
I think if I think personally, not to make it about me, but I would show myself like my ordination.
Ooh.
And be like, oh, like this is going to be really important to you in 10 years. I would also, I don't know. I think just like one of the things with Ales for Trails, just like looking at all the new trails that are built and all the people that enjoy them, and like just getting to be in those places and seeing so many people enjoying, like, oh yeah, I worked so hard and all this money is raised and now it's like out here and it made a difference. I think seeing people like baptized and knowing like their stories and their faith journeys, and just like some I don't know, but some I do, and just getting to like see that special moment for them is really cool. I don't know, there's so many.
That's a good problem to have.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I had a few, but...
So let's talk about your ordination, because that's not something 10 years ago you would have ever thought you would do, right?
No, never.
What's that like evolution been like now that you've done it, and you're like just still working in ministry
still
and
here.
like, yeah.
I think, it was funny because I feel like in some ways no different at all, and then in some ways really different. And that's such a dumb answer, but I was trying to explain this to someone on a hike again. There's a lot of good conversations that happen when you're hiking. And I was like, I don't feel different because I do what I do still, and I still would be working in ministry whether I was ordained or not, or like even if I had known that was a thing, I would still be doing what I do. And also there's this like feeling that, like I talked about in 2019, where God was like, okay, I need you to lean in and be a little more serious about this. There is that feeling or that posture of like, oh, I need to take this really seriously. Like, this is really important, and what I do matters, and how I behave matters, and what I say to people matters, and how I show up in any space matters, because there's something that I feel like God's like working through me, and I don't want to reflect God poorly in those spaces. And so it does feel like it's like a little bit more serious now.
Yeah. It's like change, but no change.
Exactly. Yeah.
That does make sense. It does make sense. Okay, let's do some rapid fire ones. Some of these fun rapid, slow rapid. No pressure on how fast to answer them.
Okay.
Favorite church event from the last 10 years?
There's so many. My favorite in general, okay, I love Dunkin' Dine because it was my first one, but there's something about Christmas Eve that just feels so special. And, I would say, I don't like have a specific one, but like for Scott and I, Christmas Eve has become really special because he takes the day off and we're both there, starting at whatever hour at the Civic Center, and there you just get to work with this big hospitality team, and there's the lobby's huge, and like everyone's dressed up and excited, and then I don't know, it just feels like such a big like celebratory event.
It does.
There's cookies, and it's like, this is amazing. And it's like all the positive parts of a gathering and
that's true.
Coming together and the music, and we're like, yes, Jesus is born. It's just like so like fun, and I don't know. Just like celebratory. And
that.
then we always go, like Adam and Teresa always have staff over. And so it's like become, Scott and I's just like tradition. We so look forward to like Christmas Eve and then celebrating. And it's just become such a fun, like, part of our like traditions as well.
Yeah.
So I love a Christmas Eve. I just love it.
Can't beat a Christmas Eve.
I know.
Funniest staff memory.
Oh.
And or best staff retreat story.
Oh, shoot. I know. I feel like some of them I can't repeat.
You need a waiver first.
Oh, can I tell this story? I don't know if I can tell this. When we were on our bike tour, like 3 years ago, so we're all on our bikes, and poor Gay just eats it over the curb. And then Anna, like, whips around to look backwards and flies over her handlebars. And I ride up on these two, just lying on the pavement. And this poor jogger is, like, running by us, and she is so panicked that she's just witnessed, like, two people die on their bikes. So it was horrifying, and they were both okay.
And that's why it was funny, because they were okay.
Because they were okay.
Yeah,
and I was like, what did I just watch? Like, it was like, Gay crashes, Anna crashes, Adam's going on ahead. I'm like, what?
Did you, like,
We
try to
gotta call
flag him down, and you were like, no, stop, we got a wreck.
I think Lexi was pregnant, so she's in her car somewhere, and I'm like, what is happening to us?
What's one behind-the-scenes thing church members probably have no idea happens every week?
Oh. That's a good question.
I like this question because you're the one that does all of these things.
Behind the scenes every week? I feel like I'm an open book. Well, I don't know. How would you answer that?
I don't know. I mean, my head goes to, like, all the, like, little setup things and hospitality things that, like, people might not realize, like, are part of, like, an intentional...
Oh, okay.
You know, like...
I was thinking more like all of the Costco shopping I have to do.
Or that too. I mean, yeah, like how many endless trips to Costco and
like, yeah.
Or even the other day, I was thinking like the baking of the communion bread. Like the people that bake it know it happens, but like, yeah, people have to bake that. You have to freeze it, cut it, like get it already. Like some of that stuff, I don't know if everybody thinks about.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah. There is a lot of intentionality behind like planning and scheduling and all this stuff, like the shopping and the preparing, I guess. But I don't know if that's surprising.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with the gratitude question because I don't know. I love a good gratitude moment. When you look back over the last 10 years, what are you most grateful for?
Ooh. A lot. I think, well, I'm grateful I was even given a chance to work for Narrate. Like, I didn't think I would get hired. Just like a random 25-year-old kid just moved here. Like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but
hire me.
You should hire me. So I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for Adam because I feel like he's really challenged me and given me more responsibility than I like thought I would want or thought I could handle. And so I've been challenged and grown in those challenges. I'm grateful for I really am grateful for our community. I feel like there's so many incredible people that are at Narrate with incredible gifts. And so I think just like the people I get to be around. It was funny, I just had family in town last week. and one of them was like, do you know everyone in this town? Like, we've only gone out like 3 times and you've known someone every time. And I was like, well, yeah, you know, not that I know everyone in this town, but like, we're a part of this, like, and we get to be a part of this great community. Like, don't you love it? You know, she's like, no.
They did not share the vision for that.
Did not share my vision for a loving community. But, yeah, I think I'm just really thankful for the people. And not just, like, through Narrate, but, like, how Scott and I have just really feel like we have such a great community of people around us, too. And that's been really special. So I'm very grateful for that.
Love it.
Yeah.
So what are you praying for, like, in this next season? How can we all be praying for you?
That's a great question. I feel like I've been asked the question weirdly a couple times in different places, like, how do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And I hate that question because I always answer, like, if I was just doing what I'm doing now with, like, a little bit more wisdom and, you know, like, yeah, a little more wisdom and a little more experience, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
And so I feel, I don't know, I'm like, should I think bigger? Should I, like, pray bigger? And then I get, like, kind of scared because who, like, prays for big things? You know, that's, like, asking for patience.
Yeah.
Or, I want that. But I don't know. I think just I'm really happy where I'm at Narrate and Helena. And I would just say, like, I'm like, what else does God want from me? You know, like, is there something I'm missing? Because I'm, like, so content to sit here, you know, that is God, like, asking for something else? Or maybe it's just, like, keep doing what you're doing and this is it. Or, but I'm always afraid of, like, what if I'm missing something? Or what if I'm not paying attention because I'm just, like, want to stay in my bubble?
Sure. Yeah. So prayers for, like, that God would just reveal his plan to you and that you would have the wisdom to follow it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we're all hoping. It's
really all we can ask for, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you were hoping I'd ask you or anything else you want to talk about?
Good question. I have a funny story. Yes. One of my interviews with Adam and Teresa. So I had a couple different interviews. One of them was more like a hangout with Adam and Teresa because they wanted to get to know Scott and I.
Sure.
And so we were like, great, we'll meet you. Like, we met him at, like, you know, 5 o'clock or something at Silver Star. And the vibe was clearly like, we're going to get a drink, we're going to get to know you, and then we're leaving. Yeah. Great, got it. And my husband sits down and he's like, what? We're not eating? I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm eating. And proceeds to order so much food. And you could just see Adam and Teresa's face were like, what? Who is this guy? And why are we now all of a sudden eating 3 courses of dinner with you guys? I was so embarrassed. I'm like, Scott, did you not read the room? Like, we were just sitting down for, like, a drink.
Were you on, like, the bar side or on the dining room?
Yes. Makes it even better. We were on the bar side, and he's like, well, I'm eating.
There's a menu.
There's a menu. I'm getting all the food. And I was, like, in the car afterwards, I was like, gosh, dang it, Scott. Like, if I don't get the job, I'm blaming you because you had to eat dinner.
And then fast forward, Scott's, like, the most lovable, staff-adjacent person.
Exactly.
Nobody doesn't love Scott.
I just don't remember that. Like, well, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Did you ever ask them about that later? Like, if they thought that was weird?
I don't think Adam even remembered it.
Oh,
and I was like, it so stood out to me because I was like, hey, on my best behavior, like...
Sure, yeah. Wasn't your best, like, social...
Okay, like, eye contact, don't be nervous, don't fidget. And here's Scott, like, well, I'm chowing down on a cheeseburger, so... I don't know what you guys are doing.
I love that story. That, like, totally fits with what I know about Scott. No.
Great. Now he brings the most interesting snacks to the Christmas Eve parties.
And his, like... case for making old fashions.
This, like, suitcase of old fashioned mixing.
I love it so much, and everybody loves him. He's like the life of the party.
He really is. I feel like we always have this joke of, like, why is Scott not in ministry? Like, of the two of us, 10 years ago, if someone would have asked us
who would be in ministry,
Hannah or Scott, I think 100% of our friends in Bozeman would have been like, well, Scott, obviously. Hannah's kind of a jerk.
For between Jonathan and I, hands down. People would say, like, Jonathan, absolutely. It's because our spouses are 9s, and everybody loves a 9.
Yeah. Should I end on? I could end on, I am grateful for Scott, too. Because it really is, like, and you've probably felt this now, ministry is kind of a lifestyle choice. You know, it's not
a 9 to 5.
9 to 5 and you're done and you're, you know, you have your weekend. Like, it is a lifestyle, and I feel like Scott has been just so incredibly supportive and loves it. He comes in with me half the time,
which is obvious,
on Sunday mornings anyway, because he's just loves it. And
he wants to be there.
He wants to be there. And so I am really grateful for that, because it could be really hard if, you know, your values were differing, but I'm really grateful for his support and encouragement over the years.
Yeah. Well, happy decade.
Thank you.
Narrate. This will probably come out a little bit before your actual 10 years, but that's just to give, if you're listening and, you know, you see Hannah, tell her how grateful you are for everything she's done and everything she does. You could send her a text or an email or whatever, and it'll be fun to celebrate you.
Thanks. If you'd like to learn more about Narrate Church, find us online at narratechurch.org.
You can also look us up on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for listening.